Joe Miller stared out the big window of Repair Station Orion 7 and couldn't believe his eyes. A long line of spaceships stretched out into the darkness of space. In his 15 years as station manager, he had never seen anything like it. The ship's blinking lights made them look like a giant snake of metal winding through the empty blackness. "Joe, another big alien warship just showed up," said Linda Watson from her desk. She was the operations officer, and her hands moved quickly over the glowing control panel. "That makes 17 alien ships waiting now." Joe rubbed his forehead. "What's happening? We usually only get a few alien ships each month." The repair station wasn't very large compared to others in human space. It had 8 repair docks sticking out from the main part like wheel spokes. All 8 were full. 6 had human ships from Earth colonies, and 2 had alien ships, a trading vessel and a diplomatic shuttle. Joe walked to the main floor where 20 human workers were busy directing traffic, assigning repair bays and handling outgoing ships. The room buzzed with activity, and the tension was thick in the air. "The alien captain is demanding we fix their ship first," Linda told Joe. "They say their engines are failing." From across the room, Ben Wright called out, "Sir, I'm getting emergency calls from 3 more alien ships. One says their life support is failing, another can't navigate. The third one has some kind of containment problem with their experimental drive." Joe frowned. Something wasn't right. This makes no sense. Why come to our small station? The warship aliens have their own repair yards. The trading aliens have repair ships that travel with their fleets. Why are they all suddenly coming to us? Just then the communication screen lit up. The face that appeared belonged to Captain Cole Drath, a human trader who traveled far into alien territories. His face was weathered from years in space, and he had a knowing smile. "Joe, my friend, looks like you've got quite a traffic jam out there," Cole said. "Do you know something about this?" Joe asked. Cole's smile grew wider. "Your little repair shop is the talk of the galaxy right now. I was just drinking at a bar on Proxima Station when I heard some alien merchants fighting over who would reach your station first." "But why us?" Joe was confused. "They're calling your team miracle workers. Word spread about how your crew fixed that royal ship last month when the aliens' own repair teams had given up. You fixed something they thought couldn't be fixed." Joe remembered that job well. Sam Harris, his chief engineer, had worked for 3 days without sleep. Sam had to rebuild their tools to work with the alien technology and invented a completely new way to fix the ship's drive core. "That was just Sam being Sam," Joe said. "He's always finding new ways to fix things. We didn't think it was anything special." Cole laughed loudly. "Well, the aliens think it's very special, and now they all want humans to fix their ships. You're victims of your own success." After Cole's face disappeared from the screen, Joe turned to his team. "Okay, we have a situation here. We need to help those with real emergencies first, not just whoever yells the loudest." Linda nodded. "The ship with life support problems sounds most serious. Dock 3 will be empty in 20 minutes. "Good. Make sure Sam's team is ready," Joe said. Outside the window, alien ships of all shapes and sizes jockeyed for position, trying to get closer to the station. Some were elegant with smooth curves. Others were huge and blocky like floating cities. A few were so strange-looking that Joe couldn't guess their function. Joe felt a strange mix of pride and worry as he watched them. Humans were newcomers to the galaxy. Most alien species had been traveling in space for thousands of years before Earth's first rocket left the atmosphere. Humans didn't have the most advanced ships or the best weapons. Their computers weren't the fastest, and their engines weren't the most powerful. But humans had something the aliens seemed to lack: the ability to look at broken things and find new ways to fix them. While aliens developed specialized systems that worked perfectly until they broke, humans had spent their history making do with what they had, finding creative solutions, and refusing to give up when something seemed impossible to fix. "Sir," Linda called out, breaking his thoughts, "the life support failure is worse than we thought. The ship has over 200 crew members, and they estimate only 4 hours of breathable air left." "Tell them to approach Dock 3 immediately," Joe ordered. "And get Sam on the comm. Tell him to bring his best people." As Joe helped coordinate the emergency docking procedures, his communication device buzzed. It was a message from Earth Fleet Command. Urgent, explain sudden concentration of alien military vessels in human space. Joe sighed. This was going to be hard to explain. How do you tell Fleet Command that aliens were lining up because humans were good at fixing things? It sounded too simple to be true. The station shook slightly as the alien ship with failing life support locked into Dock 3. Through the internal cameras, Joe could see Sam and his team of 6 engineers rushing into the airlock, carrying toolboxes and portable diagnostic equipment. They wore their standard work uniforms. No special protective gear, no advanced technology. Just humans with tools and knowledge. Linda, tell the next 3 ships in the emergency queue to stand by. Route all non-emergency traffic to the holding pattern at Marker 7, Joe said. As he watched Sam's team board the alien vessel, Joe couldn't help but feel that something important was happening. Humans had worried about finding their place among the stars ever since they discovered they weren't alone in the universe. They had feared having nothing special to offer advanced alien civilizations. Who could have guessed that humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy would be their ability to fix what others thought was broken beyond repair? Sam Harris wiped sweat from his forehead as he looked at the broken alien life support system. The machine was a mess. The alien crew had fixed it so many times in different ways that it didn't look like something designed anymore. It looked more like it had grown on its own. "What do you think, Olivia?" Sam asked his assistant. Olivia Garcia crawled out from under a bunch of cooling pipes. Her face was dirty with blue alien fluid. "It's really messed up, but I think I see the problem. They changed their air system to work for different kinds of aliens, but it doesn't work well with the original parts." Sam nodded. "And I bet their repair teams just kept adding quick fixes without solving the main problem." The alien captain stood nearby. He was tall like an insect with a shiny outer shell. He clicked his mouthparts nervously. "Can you fix it? Our best engineers said we need to replace everything." "Replacing it would take weeks and cost too much," Sam said. "We can fix this." The captain's big bug-like eyes showed surprise. "How can you be so sure?" Sam smiled. "Because we've fixed worse things than this." For the next 18 hours, Sam's team of 12 humans took apart the entire life support system. They worked in shifts, carefully recording each part before rebuilding it. They kept what worked from the alien technology but reorganized how it all fit together. In a viewing area above the repair bay, Joe stood with 3 different kinds of aliens who were touring the station while waiting for their own ships to be fixed. "I don't understand," said an alien with clear fins that moved like waves. "Your tools aren't better than ours. Your technology is, in many ways, less advanced than what our military ships have. Yet you fix things our best engineers can't." Joe watched as Olivia built a testing device from spare parts to check if an alien air filter was working. "It's not about having better tools," he explained. "It's about how we think." "Tell us more," said the military alien. "Most aliens in the galaxy train their engineers to be very specialized," Joe said. "Your repair teams are very good at following the right steps and using proven methods. Isn't that the best way?" asked a skinny scientist alien. "It works great until you face a problem that doesn't match what you were trained for," Joe replied. "Humans had to grow up differently. We had to fix problems with whatever we had, meet different needs at the same time, and work with tight deadlines. We became people who make things work in new ways." Below them, Sam was showing an alien engineer how they had rebuilt the air system. The alien was taking notes quickly, and the clicking of its mouth showed it was excited. "Your people are new to space," the Finn alien said. "You haven't had time to build the special training systems the rest of us use." "Exactly," Joe said. "What seemed like a weakness became our strength. We don't just follow the repair manual, we write a new one when we need to." The military alien made a deep sound that his translator showed meant reluctant respect. "This explains how your people spread so quickly into the galaxy, even though your technology isn't as good as ours." 2 floors below, Sam was thinking similar thoughts as he guided his team through the final testing of the alien systems. Humans had joined the galaxy and found they were behind in almost every area of technology. Their ships weren't the fastest or strongest. Their weapons weren't the most powerful. Their computers weren't the most advanced, but they could fix anything, and often make it work better than it did when it was new. Final test complete, Olivia called out. All systems working at 112% of factory settings. The alien captain's feelers twitched in disbelief. Better than new? Sam shrugged. We made a few improvements while we were working on it. Hope that's okay. As the thankful alien crew got ready to leave, Sam got a call from Joe. Great work as usual, Sam, but don't rest yet. We've got the big warship coming in next. Their weapon guidance system is having problems and they have military practice in 3 days, Sam grinned. Weapons aren't really what we normally fix. That's what I told them, Joe replied. But their admiral said if humans could fix that royal ship's drive core, we could fix anything. Tell them we'll look at it, Sam said. But I can't promise anything. As he gathered a new team for the next job, Sam thought about the irony. Humans had worried about their place among the stars, afraid they had nothing special to offer the advanced aliens they would meet. Who would have guessed that their most valuable skill would be their ability to fix broken things? The next day, the big warship was docked at the station. Its dark metal hull was covered with weapon ports and thick armor. It was built for battle, not beauty. Inside the ship, Sam and a team of 4 human engineers were looking at the broken weapon system. This is way more complex than I expected, said Greg, one of the engineers. He was scanning the crystal components that powered the alien weapons. Look at this, said Maria, another team member. The power flow is completely unstable. No wonder their targeting is off. Sam studied the alien diagrams they had been given. Their engineers are treating this like a standard power regulation issue. But it's not. The problem is in how the crystals interact with each other. The alien weapons officer stood nearby. He was tall with gray skin covered in scars that showed his battle experience. Our weapon architects say these crystals are perfectly aligned. The problem must be elsewhere. Perfect is the enemy of good, Sam said, using an old Earth saying. Your crystals are aligned exactly how your manuals say they should be. But sometimes perfect alignment creates interference patterns. The alien looked confused. This contradicts all our training. Sam nodded. I know, but trust me on this. Sam's team worked through the night. Instead of following the alien repair protocols, they deliberately created a slight misalignment in the crystal array. The aliens watched in horror at first, then amazement as the power readings stabilized. You're introducing imperfection to create balance, said the alien weapons officer, finally understanding. Our entire engineering philosophy is based on perfect precision. Sometimes a little chaos is exactly what you need, Sam replied with a tired smile. Life isn't perfect. Why should machines be? By morning, the weapon system was working better than it ever had. The alien captain personally came to thank Sam's team. How can we repay this service? The captain asked Joe. No payment needed beyond your standard repair fees, Joe replied. But maybe spread the word that humans and aliens can learn from each other. We may not have your advanced technology, but we have different ways of solving problems. As the warship departed, Joe watched 3 more alien ships move into position to dock with the station. Word was spreading even faster now. The humans of Repair Station Orion 7 had become the fixers of the galaxy. Alan Foster hadn't slept for 53 hours, but his hands didn't shake as he used the tiny welding tool. The alien weapon guidance system was spread out on 3 work tables. All the parts were carefully arranged in patterns that only Alan and his team understood. Hold the energy field steady, he told Diane Powell, who was watching the energy levels with complete focus. Just 3 more seconds. The crystal at the heart of the alien weapon glowed once, then settled into a steady blue light. The alien weapons officer was a large figure with gray skin covered in scars from battles. He made a sound like rocks grinding together that the translator said meant amazement. Impossible, the alien said. Our best weapon maker said this crystal was broken forever. Alan carefully put down his tools and moved his stiff shoulders. The break was there, but we didn't try to fix the break itself. We worked around it. We made the energy flow through different paths to avoid the damaged parts. This is not in any repair manual, the alien insisted. That's because we wrote a new way to do it, Diane explained. She was tired, but proud. Your systems are built with perfect crystals in mind. When they aren't perfect, you replace them. We humans have learned to work with imperfect things and find ways to make them work anyway. Outside in the hallway, Joe met with Commander Helen Phillips from Earth Fleet. She had come to check on the sudden flood of alien ships at the station. The Galactic Council has noticed what's happening here, Helen told him. 3 council members have asked official questions about why so many alien military ships are in human space. Joe sighed. We're just fixing their ships, nothing bad is happening. I know that, but having this many foreign military ships around a human station makes people nervous. The big warship aliens alone have 3 battleships waiting for repairs. Now, they walked into the viewing room that looked down on the main repair area. A luxury alien yacht was being fixed next to a human colony ship. Teams moved between the ships with practiced skill, changing tools and methods as needed. Look at them, Joe said with clear pride. None of these repair workers have formal training on alien systems. They're learning as they work, sharing ideas, making up solutions. Helen watched a young human engineer explaining something to an alien scientist using hand movements to help where the translator wasn't good enough. It's amazing, but have you thought about what this means for us? You mean fixing broken ships? I mean becoming necessary, Helen explained. These aliens rely on complex systems they barely understand as a whole. You're showing them that humans can master their technology, often better than they can themselves. Joe hadn't thought about it this way. You think this makes us a threat? I think it makes us valuable, Helen said. Too valuable to threaten. The station speaker system interrupted them. Manager Miller to Dock 4, urgent situation with the science vessel. When Joe arrived at Dock 4, he found a tense standoff. The science vessel, sleek and organic-looking with swirling patterns on its hull, was surrounded by security guards. Chief Security Officer Rick Lewis greeted Joe with a serious face. The science aliens have been hiding something, Rick said quietly. Their experimental drive is actually a prototype dimension shifter. It's very unstable and probably illegal, under Galactic Council rules. The lead alien scientist, a thin being with 6 arms, came over. We did not mean to lie, Manager Miller. We just couldn't tell you what our research was until we checked your station's security. Why bring it here at all, Joe asked. Because 3 of our science stations failed to fix the dimensional problem, the alien admitted. Our most advanced facilities could not solve it. We saw your success with the Royal Ship Drive and calculated a 73.4% chance that human engineers might succeed where ours failed. Joe felt a headache coming. Let me get this straight. You brought an experimental, possibly illegal, definitely dangerous device to my station because you thought we might be able to fix it when your own people couldn't? The alien's skin turned dark purple, which meant it was embarrassed. We were desperate. The technology could change space travel forever, but it's breaking down. If it fails completely, the dimensional tear would be problematic. Problematic how? A reversal of cause and effect within 3 light minutes. Joe stared. You brought a device that could tear space and time to my repair station? Your reputation is very impressive, the alien said weakly. Joe turned to Rick. Move all non-essential people to the safety shelters, then find Sam and Olivia. He faced the alien again. You're going to tell my engineers everything about this device, and we're going to fix it or safely shut it down. And then we're going to have a serious talk about proper disclosure rules. As the emergency team gathered, Joe thought about Helen's words. Humanity had indeed found its place among the stars, not as conquerors or traitors, but as fixers of the impossible. The species who looked at broken things and saw possibilities instead of defeat. It was a uniquely human gift, this stubborn refusal to accept that something couldn't be repaired. And now that gift had made them both essential and vulnerable in ways they were only beginning to understand. The next day, Joe stood in the special containment area they had built for the dimension device. Behind thick shielding, Sam and Olivia worked with the alien scientists. The device was a sphere of swirling energy contained in a frame of metal and crystal. Occasional flashes of light showed where reality itself was becoming unstable. "Can we fix it?" Joe asked through the communication system. Sam looked up from his work. "It's not broken exactly. It's just incomplete. Their theory was right, but their implementation missed something important." "Which is?" "Balance," Olivia answered. "They're trying to punch a hole in space-time, but they're not accounting for the natural resistance. It's like trying to push water with a flat hand instead of cupping it." The alien scientist made a gesture of surprise. "You understand the principles already? It took our scientists decades to develop this theory." "We don't understand all the science," Sam admitted, "but we understand systems, and all systems seek balance." For the next 12 hours, the combined team worked to modify the dimensional device. The aliens provided the advanced theoretical knowledge, while the humans provided practical insights about how to implement it. It was a partnership unlike anything either species had experienced before. By the time they finished, the device no longer flickered dangerously. Instead, it glowed with a steady blue-green light. "The dimensional variance is stabilized," the alien scientist announced, checking readings on their instruments. "How did you know this would work?" Sam shrugged. "We didn't, not for sure, but we've seen similar patterns in other systems. Sometimes the simplest solution is to work with the natural flow instead of against it." Joe watched as the aliens carefully packed their now stable device for transport. They had promised to take it to a proper research facility for further study. This time with human engineers invited to participate. As the science vessel departed, Joe received word that 7 more alien ships had just arrived requesting repairs. "Our reputation keeps growing," Rick said as they watched the new arrivals from the control room. "At this rate, we'll need to expand the station." "Or build more of them," Helen suggested. She had just received a message from Earth Fleet Command. "Headquarters is impressed with how we've turned a potential diplomatic incident into an opportunity. They're proposing a network of joint repair facilities throughout the galaxy." Joe smiled. "So we're going to teach aliens how to fix things. The human way?" "It looks that way," Helen replied. "They're calling it adaptive technical exchange. I'm calling it the start of something big." 1 month after the dangerous dimensional device incident, Repair Station Orion 7 looked very different. The original 8 repair docks had grown to 20. The new docks were built quickly with help from both human engineers and alien technical advisors. Joe stood in the new, bigger control center. He watched the big screen that showed 73 ships waiting in orbit for repairs. The station's staff had tripled in size, with new specialists coming from all across human space. There were even a few alien technical advisors who had asked permission to study how humans fix things. "The Galactic Council representatives will dock in 20 minutes, Linda reminded him as she handed him a tablet. "Here's the final draft of the treaty." Joe looked at the document titled Cooperative Technical Exchange Initiative. What had started as a diplomatic problem after the dimensional device crisis had turned into something nobody expected. The first galactic treaty focused on humanity's unique way of fixing things and solving technical problems. "It still feels unreal," Joe said. 3 months ago, we were just a medium-sized repair station mostly handling human ships. And now we're apparently the center of a new galactic technical revolution," Linda replied with a smile. "The diplomats are calling it the most important human contribution to galactic civilization since first contact." The treaty would create a network of joint repair facilities throughout the galaxy. These facilities would have mixed species teams led by human engineers. The humans would train aliens in what was now being called adaptive technical problem solving. In exchange, humanity would get access to advanced technologies and scientific knowledge that would have taken centuries to develop on their own. Sam and Olivia joined them, both wearing formal Earth Fleet technical uniforms that still looked uncomfortably new. "How's our special project?" Joe asked quietly. "Complete success," Sam reported. "The dimensional drive is fully stabilized. We've created safety rules that should prevent any future containment issues." "The science aliens are still in shock," Olivia added. "They've been trying to solve the phase problem for 11 years. Sam's team did it in 2 weeks. Joe nodded. And they've agreed to share their knowledge? They're happy to, Sam confirmed. They're already setting up the joint research facility on Europa. The possible uses go far beyond just space travel. The controlled phase shifting could change everything from medicine to manufacturing. The station's alert system made a soft sound, announcing the arrival of the diplomatic shuttle. As Joe prepared to greet the representatives of 7 major galactic powers, he paused to look again at the swarm of ships surrounding Orion 7. Ships of every shape, size, and origin, built by civilizations far older and in many ways more advanced than humanity, all waiting patiently for humans to work their repair magic. The formal meeting with the Galactic Council representatives took place in the station's newly built diplomatic room. Joe stood beside Admiral Helen Phillips, now promoted and serving as Earth's chief negotiator, as the alien dignitaries filed. The crystal-skinned alien High Chancellor spoke first. For thousands of years, the galactic community has prized specialization and perfection in design. We built systems of increasing complexity and power, but with that complexity came fragility. The big war minister nodded his massive head. Our battle doctrine teaches that damaged equipment is to be replaced, not repaired. Efficiency through standardization, yet in 3 battles since our vessels were serviced by humans, our fleet has maintained 97% combat effectiveness, despite taking damage that would have previously forced retreat. Humanity's gift is not having better technology, the science director observed, but a different approach to technology that our civilizations had forgotten, or perhaps never developed. You see systems as wholes, adapt quickly to unexpected conditions, and view failure as a chance for innovation rather than disposal. Admiral Phillips stepped forward. Earth is honored by your recognition of our contribution. This treaty represents a new chapter in galactic cooperation, with each civilization bringing its unique strengths to our shared future. As the formal speeches continued, Joe slipped away to the window where Olivia stood watching the repair operations continuing, despite the diplomatic event. "Did you ever think we'd end up here?" she asked. "Teaching the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy how to fix things?" Joe laughed softly. "Never. But it makes sense in a way. While they were perfecting their technologies, humanity was busy learning to keep old equipment running with limited resources. Our entire history has been about making do, adapting, and overcoming limitations." On the repair bay floor below, they could see a young human technician working with an alien engineer. They had different body types, requiring them to develop new ways of handling tools. They were creating something that had never existed before, a multicultural repair method that combined human adaptability with alien technical knowledge. "You know what's funny?" Olivia said. "For all their advanced technology, they never wrote the manual on how to fix things when they break in unexpected ways. So I guess that's our job now," Joe replied, writing the Galactic Repair Manual. 2 weeks later, the first training class of the new Cooperative Technical Exchange Initiative was underway. 30 alien engineers from 7 different species sat in a large workshop alongside 20 human instructors. In the center of the room was a completely broken alien engine that had been declared unrepairable. Sam stood before the class. "Welcome to what we're informally calling Human Repair Philosophy 101. We're not going to teach you specific techniques today. Instead, we're going to teach you how to think differently about broken things." He walked around the broken engine. "The first lesson of human repair philosophy is this: nothing is unfixable. The second lesson is, the manual is just a starting point. An alien with 4 arms raised one of them. But what if the damage exceeds design parameters? Our training says replacement is the only logical option." Sam smiled. "That's exactly the mindset we're here to change. Over the next 6 weeks, your team will fix this engine. You'll use parts that weren't designed for it. You'll create tools that don't exist yet. You'll find solutions that nobody has tried before." "This is very different from our traditional engineering education," said another alien. "Yes, it is," Olivia added. "And that's why it works. Different perspectives lead to different solutions." While the class began their first exercise, disassembling the engine without any manual. Joe met with Admiral Phillips in his office. "The Council has approved the expansion of the program," Helen told him. 6 more training facilities will be established within the year, and they've unanimously voted to classify human repair methodology as a protected cultural asset. "What does that mean?" Joe asked. "It means they recognize its value to the entire galaxy and have committed to preserving it. It also means they've formally acknowledged humanity as equal partners in galactic civilization." Joe looked out his window at the endless queue of alien vessels still gathering around the station. Not bad for a bunch of tinkerers who just like fixing broken things. "It's more than that," Helen said. "You've given the galaxy something it didn't know it needed, a reminder that imperfection isn't always a flaw to be corrected, but sometimes an opportunity to be explored." Outside the viewport, the endless queue of alien vessels continued to gather, drawn by humanity's unexpected gift to the stars, the simple, profound ability to make broken things whole again. In a universe of specialists, humans had found their calling as the generalists who could bridge the gaps between different technologies and methods, the species who looked at the impossible and asked, "Have you tried this?" It wasn't the role humanity had expected to play when they ventured into the stars, but as Joe watched the diverse teams working together below, he couldn't imagine a better one. The galaxy had its warriors, its scholars, its traders, and its artists. Now it also had its fixers, and no one did it better than humans.